Today we have an esteemed panelist, Lynn Lauder, the Major U.S. Marine Corps veteran and co-founder and CEO of the Veteran Business Project. She is a co-CEO of a Veterans Business Project, an incredible organization. Also, we have Dale Eisenberg, son of a World War II pilot, co-founder and co-CEO of Veteran Business Project. They are here today to talk about the Veteran Business Project 2021 updates. I know you're out there doing great things for our veterans, so why don't you lead it off, Lynn or Dale, whoever wants to take off first.
Sure, I will. Well, Colonel Arnold, nice to meet you. I want to give my best to you and to Cliff and to Glenda for the opportunity to be on the radio show, which we really love to do. Let me just do a couple things if I can, Colonel, right up front. Our website, Veteran Business Project, is www.veteranbusinessprojectaltogether.org, www.veteranbusinessproject.org. Our phone number is 800-383-5150. In essence, what we do, we have a program called V-Harmony, and our mission is to get veterans and spouses into business for themselves. We do this by matching veterans and military spouses that want to be in business for themselves with current viable small businesses that are looking to sell. We've done this now. We're going on our 9th year. We have put a lot of people in business. We've been through the COVID environment, and that's lifting. We see a lot of potential, we believe, coming in the months ahead. There's some good federal programs coming down that are assisting in financing. So, in essence, we have our matchmaking for our veterans and military spouses. We provide a success manager like myself or Dale to work with. We establish a plan of action. We go step by step, one veteran at a time, right down the line. We offer ongoing mentoring throughout the entire process, from scouting out a business to actually buying it. We assist in resource funding when possible. And we ask people if they're interested to get on our website and register. That would be our website at www.veteranbusinessproject.org. Let me, at this point in time...
Dale, you want to give that phone number again one more time as well? This is worth everyone writing down.
You bet. It's 800-383-5150. Yes. I'd like to kick it over for a moment to Dale Eisenberg, our co-founder, and then I've got right to my right here today a good friend of mine. I went through boot camp with him 54 years ago. Fellow Marine, that's a long time. Fellow Marine brother Jim Wong, who is the COO of Veteran Business Project, and he's on a number of boards for Veterans Matters. Great guy. Excellent. And we've been traveling here, so we're going to get to that in a minute. But if I can, Colonel, let me just lobby over for a moment to Dale, and then we'll come back to Jim Wong.
Okay, fantastic.
Sure, thanks, Lynn. Hey, good to talk to you again, Cliff. It's been a while. So what I thought I'd do is I'd give you a little quick update on what we've been doing since we talked last. And we've just been busier than I could have imagined during this time. And right now, in my own personal pipeline, I've gone over 250 veterans that are various interests of getting into business for themselves. And, some of them have specific businesses in mind, and some are just looking to see what's out there. A real quick example of what we do is Lynn and I recently went down to Central Illinois to help 2 disabled female Seabees who were looking to get into business and were referred to us by another veteran. And their issue was they had the business, they had the wherewithal, but they didn't have the financing. So what we did, and this is what Lynn and Jim will go into a little bit more, is we brought a couple of small-town banks together, and they actually were very veteran-friendly, and they are going to come through now for this deal. So I'm hoping these women will be in business, within the next 4 to 6 weeks. So that's just an example of what we do and the kind of opportunities that aren't just available in the cities. They're available everywhere, particularly in some of these small-town areas around the country.
Yeah, Dale, this is Colonel Arnold. One question I have around that. So are there any special qualifications that I would have to have as a veteran in order to pursue a business or to really get into
You got to have the desire. And I don't have the exact statistics, but Jim and Lynn do. But I know it's well over 50% of veterans would like to be in business for themselves. Yeah. So really, the number one qualification is you got to want to do it. You have to have that entrepreneurial spirit, and everything else is details after that. If you know kind of what business you want, that's what we also help direct the veterans towards. So we're a great resource in all those areas.
But I don't need a business degree.
I
wouldn't. Yeah, but I wouldn't need a business degree and a master's of business or those kinds of things.
No, that's fine. If somebody wants to go that route, we don't. We don't think it's a bad idea. But it really takes more desire, and you don't have to have a degree. You just have to have the willingness to work and want to be in business for yourself.
Oh, great.
So, Lynn, did I cover everything that we wanted to? Do you have any questions about?
Yeah, let me just come back for a moment here. In terms of our intake process, Colonel Arnold, the first thing we do is we put them through a program called Reboot, which is like a reverse boot camp. It gives them a chance to evaluate where they're at this point in time in about 6 or 8 different criteria in their life, from finances to relationships, you name it. The next thing we do is we give them a number of interviews and some analysis on what businesses might be the best suited to them. At that point, we hook them up with a success manager, and we start down that process from due diligence on through to buy and sell. So it's very systematic, very thorough, and very military-like in terms of the process itself, Colonel. Excellent. So I hope that gives you a better understanding. Fantastic. So if they need some boning up on business skills, we have that by virtue of our training. So we go through all of that. Nothing is left unattended to. So since we were last on the air, we have kicked off a program we're very excited about called Operation Hometown. We are there's all sorts of opportunities in inner city areas, in rural areas, and small towns. So we have been in the midst of a lot of activity, which brings me to my old friend Jim Wong here, again, the COO of Veteran Business Project. Jim is a Marine. As I said, we've been to boot camp together 54 years ago. He's a Vietnam combat veteran, a great guy, and I'd like to introduce him. He's coming all the way from San Francisco to be on this show.
Yeah, it sounds like your bootlaces got tied together, huh?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. So here's my buddy Jim Wong.
Hello, Colonel. Nice to be here. I lived in Des Plaines, so even though this time I came in from the San Francisco Bay Area, I used to live not that many miles from where Lynn lives today in Naperville. I worked for the SBA briefly and managed the 4 western states. And what we discovered is about 25% of the transitioning veterans say they want to be self-employed. Most of these veterans think that they have to start a new business. And what we're reminding them is that veterans already own 10% of small businesses in America. That's over $1 trillion in annual receipts. We generate over 5 million jobs and $200 billion in payroll per year, and 50% of the owners are 74 and above. Therefore, there are many opportunities for these aging owners who might not have sons and daughters or family members who want to take over the business to hand the reins over to a fellow veteran or a military spouse. The interesting thing is that military spouses who travel with us all over the world and are constantly rotating, about 50% of them are self-employed. Okay. So they're used to being in business. A lot of them, like my wife, got a job just because we needed the money. Yeah. We needed to supplement the family income. And so for many people, the military spouse can be the one to start a business, or the veteran himself or herself. This is a target-rich environment. COVID-19 has, I think, woken people up to all the opportunities. So while it's a little bit like a tale of two cities, it's the best of times and it's the worst of times, we're all taught to improvise, to adapt, and to overcome. So veterans at this time are in their element, and so are military spouses. So this is a time for all of us to shine, take advantage of the opportunity to rebuild America. 48% of jobs in America are in the small business segment. So if anyone can readily strengthen the economy, is small business owners. We create almost half of the jobs. And for disabled veterans and for folks who came back and are just looking for a job, veteran-owned businesses tend to hire more veterans and military spouses. We don't care if they're suffering from PTSD. Many of us do ourselves. So in this environment, there's just a lot of opportunity for us to work together. We're used to it. We were raised in the military to trust each other. We have a culture of trying to overcome. This economy is getting better. On our drive up from down south, I saw a lot of businesses reopen. There's a lot more traffic. So I think that by the end of this year, our economy is going to be more robust. We have never seen such cheap capital as right now. The SBA guarantee loans are going for 2%, 2.3%. The 504 loan, you can get up to $5 million at roughly 2% interest, repayment in 25 years, and with just a 10% down payment. The other thing that we steer people towards is community development financial institutions. We have about 1,000 in the country, and we help our successors find those. We help our sellers find those, because the difference between a CDFI, which is mostly nonprofit, 99% of them are, they're governed by the U.S. Treasury, and they are supposed to focus on veterans, military spouses, people from low to moderate income, and people of color. So that paints the story of the current military. We are 46% minority today in the military. So these are all opportunities that we can take advantage of. If we can't get you an SBA guaranteed loan, we'll help you get a CDFI microloan up to $250,000, no personal guarantee, no FICO score minimum, and no collateral except your business. So this is just one heck of a good time for folks to look at, okay, how do I leave something for the next generation? Owning a business is the best means, especially, I'm a person of color, and I grew up poor. Yes. This is the best means for us to pass our wealth to the next generation. Yes.
And it's also, we veterans also are very dedicated to whatever they do, and it actually adds something to the community and the country as a whole, by, I guess, pursuing this. But it sounds like there's no cost for the program, right? So veterans can actually sign up for the program, or how does that work?
Everything we do is pro bono, and that's the reason we can represent the seller, we can represent the buyer. We're not asking anyone to pay, and sometimes we represent both the seller and the buyer. We're the advocate. and we can get them to talk. So this is an opportunity. As far as we know, no other organization is attempting to do what Lynn and Dale started almost 9 years ago. The timing couldn't be better than now. And instead of asking for sympathy for veterans, trying to give them help, no, we're helping to strengthen our economy in this nation. We're taking a leadership spot. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah, so, one thing I have a question about is this mostly, in person or online program, or how does it sort of roll out for our veterans?
Well, the nice thing about...
what happens... Go ahead, Lynn, or Jim.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Jim.
The nice thing about COVID is everybody knows how to use Zoom.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
I think that a lot of we have run into so many restaurant owners that are trying to learn how to streamline their organizations. Well, I can tell you, having been in the restaurant business for close to 50 years and having owned a lot of restaurants, no one beats Dale when it comes to helping restaurant owners streamline their businesses. He runs some of the best restaurants in Chicago. So when you get people like Dale coming to help you, there is no consulting company that can beat Dale, because he's right there in your kitchen, in your dining room, coaching you from hard-earned experience. And we have bankers, we have lawyers, we have academics, we have people who are very experienced. So our consulting team, they're all volunteers, and they work their butt off to try to help, because they see it as a way to help each other. And for many of us who are a little bit long in the tooth, it's our way to pay it forward.
This is fantastic. I mean, I'm blown away right now. There's not much I can say. This is something that every veteran needs to know about this program and what you're doing. It is beyond belief what you're doing from what you've been telling me. And, one thing I wanted to ask, one quick question was, with the Biden administration, we're starting to move now more towards the potential for, rebuilding the infrastructure of the country, and then also the green technology movement, for solar and wind power and all of that. Is that part of the things that you sort of look at or think about?
Yes, this is Lynn, Colonel. Absolutely. Yes. There is. Let me just say, I'm on the SBA Advisory Committee for Veteran Business Affairs, and I track where the money's going, the businesses it's going into. There is such a move right now. Jim was talking about the various avenues to get funding. The biggest hang-up in years past that has prevented veterans from getting into business is lack of access to capital. That is changing dramatically. I should tell you, and I wanted to say this earlier, Colonel, in the 9 years following World War II, 49.7% of our veterans ended up being small business owner-operators, almost half. And today, it's been less than 5% until, frankly, organizations, and I like to say we're in the lead in this because we are, finding ways to get access to capital so that our veterans and their spouses can get the chance, the opportunity to have their dream, to have their business. I tell people that, you can spend your life, your work life, building somebody else's company. Why not build your own?
Yeah, absolutely right, 100%. And with the kind of dedication that I know our veterans have, it's something that is a natural fit, right? Because if you can dedicate your life to, keeping your boots shined in the middle of a desert, you can get something like this done, right?
Absolutely correct. We know what our veterans have, the discipline, the grit, the team play. They just, that's why they did so well in the 9 years following World War II and onward from there. We proved that we have more than what it takes, and that still is the case today, Colonel.
Fantastic. We're running sort of short on time. We have about 2 minutes left, but I want to make sure that people go to www.veteransbusinessproject.org, and also the phone number is 1-800-383-5150. I just want to...
Let me jump in real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Sure. Colonel, you added an S. It's veteran singular, veteran business project.
Okay,
yeah.
So veteran.
Otherwise, I'll get bounced out.
Okay, I must have used the wrong. Okay, so
no
I'm glad you said that.
There. All right.
We're good.
Okay, so veteranbusinessproject.org, and then 1-800-383-5150. I want to take this moment, and I know we could be talking about a lot of things, but I just want to commend Lynn Lauder, Dale Eisenberg, and Jim Wong for what you have been doing for veterans. I have never heard of a program that is so developed and so timely for our veterans. A lot of veterans probably lost employment as well during this whole COVID-19 fiasco. And, I've been helping the state out with the emergency response efforts for that. But there's a need for this program. If I'm hoping the Biden administration is listening, you need to support this group, and you need to help them to set the foundation for the rebuilding of this country. And this is what we need. We need the reinvestment in our veterans. And, one of the things that you were mentioning is this thing about, we don't ask for handouts. We don't ask for, begging. And that's something about our honor and how we feel about how we live our lives. So, make sure that as an administration, you are supporting this program. But I'll leave it open for, you have 1 quick minute to go. So if you want to say something really quickly.
Absolutely. Colonel Lynn Lauder, we'd like to invite you up to Dale's Original Pancake House on
yes.
Park Ridge. Love to have you come up so we can really have a drill down on this. There's so much more to be said, and we sincerely appreciate, number one, your service as a brother veteran, and for really recognizing who we are and what we do. There's so much here that's going on, so much positive, but we'd like to spend time with you personally. If you're up for that, we'd love to have you over for chow.
Oh, most definitely. Love it. And the pancakes was definitely a strong enticement.
Well, bring the whole crew.
Bring the whole crew. Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to have you. Love to have you.
Oh, fantastic. Actually, I see your number on the call-in, so I'll give you a call, Lynn, and we can get together on that. Okay?
Great, Colonel. We'll do it. Thank you.
Okay, and I'm going to turn it now over to our executive producer, Glenda Smith, who is going to tell us a lot about something special that's happening in Chicago.
As always, we're grateful to our guests, our partners, sponsors. Thank you, Lynn and Dale, because we were scheduled for another program, but Victor had a family emergency, and so he had to reschedule for May. So thank you guys so much for being so available and a part of the America's Heroes Group family. We appreciate you.
And we have to have you on again and again.
Absolutely.
This is so important what you're doing.
Yeah.
Thank
so
you.
to our listening audience, in regards to housing, social services, wellness care, please feel free to call America's Heroes Group at 312-803-2618. We're located at 155 North Worker Drive, Suite 4250. To our technical producer, Art Gaza, the smooth operator, and to the man, the new man in charge of everything, Tyree Middlebrooks. However, Manny is being redirected to our website only now because things are really expanding and growing on our behalf. And so he's about to concentrate on expanding and making sure the website is meeting your demand because of you. We're global. The podcast is resonating. So just in case you didn't get a chance to hear this program or you want to go back and listen to other programs, go to our website, www.americashg.org, and download the podcast for resources and information. Right now, I want to bring attention to Friday's edition of the Chicago Crusaders Voices in regards to Cliff Kelly deserves an honorary street naming and official Chicago Day. We're asking all of you all to show your love, to show your love and respect for someone who's earned it and deserves it because of his body of work. We want a street name after him, and we want an official Chicago Day named in honor of Mr. Clifford P. Kelly himself, the governor of talk radio, the one and only. So please go to change.org and find the petition. We respectfully are requesting that the alderman and the City of Chicago Mayor's Office acknowledge what we're saying in terms of this petition so we can start the process of getting him a street named and a Chicago honorary day. On behalf of Congressman Danny Davis, on behalf of Dorothy Lavelle, on behalf of Colonel Dr. Damon Arnold, on behalf of Sal Dunlap, on behalf of myself, that is the committee, and to my understanding, the Washington Park Committee where Cliff has lived in all his life with his family. We are respectfully asking you all to, if you love him like you say you do, go to change.org and sign the petition on his behalf to name a street and have a City of Chicago Day after him. Yes. To all our listeners, we love you. Thank you so much for blessing us.
And to all of you legislators out there who he helped to put you in your office, get up off your feet and make sure you get your people to sign that petition too.
Trust me, because Dr. Arnold, Congressman Danny Davis, Mrs. Dorothy Lavelle, they're not playing about this. We're getting ready to hold a press conference. We want this done. Blessings to everybody.